latest polls have you and Senator Brown in a statistical tie. In one poll, you're up by 2. Another poll, you're down by 1. What are you seeing on the ground there?
Well, I can tell you yesterday, Sherrod Brown was in Youngstown. I think he struggled to get 20 people. We had 700 people in Strongsville, 600 people in Mount Vernon. At the end of the day, we had 500 people in Lorain, Ohio. So look, the energy's with us. I think Kamala Harris is right. People do want to change. She just doesn't realize it's a change from her policies that have been choking this country for the last 4 years. We're going to win this election because we're on the right side of history. We want common sense back in our government. We want a secure border. We want low prices. We want peace around the world. We want American energy dominance. These are the issues that voters care about. This is what is actually on the ballot, and we're going to win this race.
You've been endorsed by Donald Trump. How has his support helped your campaign?
Well, it was definitive in the primary. There's no question about that. Ohio is Trump country. In Ohio, we love President Trump for good reason. He was the best president of my generation. He's somebody who restored American manufacturing, gave us peace around the world, my #1 issue for my wife, made certain that we had low prices, low inflation, low interest rate, the greatest economy that we've ever had in my lifetime. So for good reason, President Trump is extremely popular here in Ohio. He's going to win by probably 12 points, and we're going to get really close to that margin as well.
And I know 2 of the top issues for voters in Ohio this election are the economy and immigration. I know these are issues that also hit home for you. You immigrated here with your family from Colombia, became a citizen at the age of 18. You did things the right way, the legal way. What we're seeing happening at our southern border and people pouring in has made every state now, including Ohio, a border state. I want you to take a listen to what Kamala Harris had to say last night on the issue of immigration.
We must acknowledge we are a nation of immigrants. And I will work with Congress to pass immigration reform, including an earned path to citizenship. And when I am president, we will quickly remove those who arrive here unlawfully, prosecute the cartels, and give Border Patrol the support they so desperately need.
What did you make of her comments and this administration's current policies?
Well, it's unbelievable. I mean, she's the Vice President of the United States. Why doesn't she just walk into the building right behind her, sign an executive order restating the ones that President Trump have, and deport the criminals now? Why would you have to wait till January? It's obscene. Look, it's all fraud. Look, she's allowed 12 million people to come into this country, 500,000 criminals, 15,000 murders, 13,000 rapists. Look, I am so sick and tired of these politicians that reward people who break our laws to come here. We have to have a legal path to immigration, no illegal immigration. She wants to make these people citizens. We need to deport anybody who's in this country illegally, restore the sovereignty of our country, and secure our border. She's failed to do that, and now to say that she's going to do it in January? Look, the American people are sick of these kinds of fraudulent politicians. It's just like my opponent, Sherrod Brown. This is why we're winning on November 5th.
Talk to us about the economy, because, you know, we talked about immigration, but the economy, as you mentioned, you said a couple of things on what people want. That really is essentially what they had 4 years ago under Donald Trump. You know, people in Ohio, people in many states are struggling just to put food on their table. What are people saying to you when you meet them on the campaign trail?
Well, they don't understand why we have a government that sends hundreds of billions of dollars to foreign countries, why they spend $110,000 per illegal migrant, and yet they can't pay rent, they can't pay their credit card bills. McDonald's is a luxury all of a sudden. The grocery store is a terrifying experience when you get to the cashier. Look, they want low prices, they want low interest rates, they want to make certain that they can live a comfortable life here in America by following the rules and working hard. This is what they had under President Trump. It's what we're going to have again starting next year when President Trump's back in the White House. I win the Senate majority for Republicans. We keep the House. We're going to make this country strong again. We're going to restore the American dream, which is that you can live a good life without having to have 3 jobs or having to make sacrifices that you shouldn't be making in the wealthiest country on earth.
Bernie, 6 days to go. What is your final message to the voters of Ohio?
It was said to me by a 6-year-old at a charter school in Columbus, Sherrod Brown is just too liberal for Ohio.
That's great. I love that the kids are listening.
All right, Bernie Moreno, best of luck to you. Thank you so much for waking up early and joining us.